All right.
You guys look all freaking cool over there.
Us? Yeah, we're fucking cool.
It's our neutral colors.
I was gonna do this all
Rock
the time.
on.
Let's put it back on us.
Womp womp.
Welcome to your favorite podcast, another grooming podcast. I'm Kathleen Austin.
I'm Juan Rivera.
I'm Kat Graney.
And I'm Nathan Austin.
Oh, you did a hands out.
That's okay. It was as close as we were going to get.
Renaissance.
Renaissance hands. And there's our picture for the week.
Oh, record.
And there's our thumbnail.
Okay, anyway. So, I mean, we've had kind of a lot of things going on in our lives in general lately. So I think we're going to probably spend a good portion of our time going over that today. But we do have our question. We skipped it during Halloween week, but let's read it now. So today's question to get us warmed up is, what is your most treasured memory?
Oh, damn.
Most treasured memory. I think for me, my wedding is probably the most treasured memory. Specifically, when I think back to my wedding, I just think of like early evening when it's just starting to get dark, and then like that we just turned on all the lights, and there was like tiki torches going on. The music was like a nice it was just perfect.
Except for I wasn't there,
Except
so
for I didn't even
not
know
entirely
then.
perfect.
Did we know each other then?
No, we didn't.
No, right?
And I'm really sad about it. I'm so sad. Maybe you know what we should do is you should renew your vows with Ronnie at some point, and me and Nathan will too, and we'll just combine them.
That'd be fun.
That'd be super fun. And we'll just do destination. That'd be sweet.
The Bahamas.
I'll just be there.
They don't like the heat.
I don't like the heat.
Alaska.
Although on TikTok it came up,
Alaska's
Alaska's hot.
Oh.
It is during the summer.
The
Yeah,
guy
it's very
was like,
humid.
everyone lied to me. I'm sweating. It's crazy. And I was like, oh my God, do I want to go to Alaska anymore?
But how hot?
He was saying it was like in the 80s.
Ew.
But it's also very humid there. So,
Yeah, if it's not winter, I'm not going.
yeah, I was like, but then it's
Okay,
just
what
dark all
about
the
New
time.
Zealand? Because it doesn't get that hot there.
Well, we can talk about it, but it looked beautiful and it looked so crisp.
It was very crisp, but it wasn't cold. It was crisp. So we'll get into it. Okay, the treasured memory. What about you, Kat?
Giving birth to my daughter, I guess. Even though there's a lot of other things involved. But that moment she came out and I held her.
Yeah.
There's just something that comes over you in that exact moment.
That's what I was going to say.
It makes me sad that I'll never get to experience that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Are you sure you don't want him still?
No. Like as a mother,
And being a woman,
birthing, and
yeah.
then
But
like,
Nathan felt it.
oh, okay, that's true.
Yeah, he did.
Because I could
that's what I
tell
was
just the
gonna
way
say.
his face.
Yeah, that was going to be my thing, is seeing our first child come out. And I was like, oh my God.
Not
It
that
blew
we,
my mind.
not that we don't love Isolde, but yeah, the first one is just transformative.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any kids yet. So
Well-
like that moment of like
I'm a daddy
the
now.
culmination of all that hard. I mean, you grew this baby for 9 months, and then the labor is intense and difficult, and like the culmination of all of that. And now there's this living being.
Well, it wasn't real until she was in my
Yeah.
hands. Like, I got just this overwhelming,
Yeah.
like undescribable, overwhelming
mm-hmm.
love for this little thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even when I was pregnant, I didn't, like, I knew she was
You-
in there,
yeah, you
right?
weren't-
But I wasn't like, I was just like, you know.
Yeah.
But when she came out, I was like,
I do
She's
agree. Yeah.
real.
Well, it makes me feel better that it's possible to feel it as a man as well. Like you
Oh,
don't
yeah.
have to be the one giving the birth to
No.
feel the connection and like the instant.
well, even adoptive parents who
Yeah.
are there for that moment say they feel that overwhelming.
Well, because I would say for Nathan, it was the same, where he didn't feel very connected when I was pregnant, like to the baby, where I felt, Kat didn't feel very connected during her pregnancy, but I felt really connected to my baby. But then once they were born, you guys had that like super intense.
Took anything for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Nathan's like whole thing changed. But,
Started driving good.
yeah.
Yeah. It has improved.
Stopped
But it
speeding.
didn't help you then.
Smooth, just not smooth.
No, I mean, I would say, yeah, that like was a big one. But like when I think back of like, obviously that was like a completely life-changing experience. But I have to say like memories that I'll always treasure though, it does have to do with my baby though, is laying in the bed like nursing Owen in the summer. Because I got to stay home with him and like that just like hours staring at him, just laying in the bed. Very special.
If my beginning of my breastfeeding journey wasn't so traumatizing, I probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
But you know, the later things, just even when she was like older and we had established all that, just staring into her eyes
Yeah.
and just it's just like this incredible bond.
Whatever, right? Whatever.
It's hormones too. We're driven to be like that, you know,
Yeah.
to love this thing
Yeah.
we made.
Well, I feel like we have a lot of good memories though, especially together.
Mhm.
I feel like we've had some, I mean, like when you won your best in show at Cali
fun.
Grooms, that was like it was such a beautiful moment to be there with you and like the culmination of all your hard work. That was really special.
Oh, yeah.
And I really appreciated being part of it.
Yeah, you got to read my name.
I got to read your name. So it was very exciting. Very cool.
I still just smell garlic.
It's been weeks.
It's so strong, dude. I made something with garlicky last night. Like I'm gonna wear gloves every time I make things with garlic now.
Okay. Anyways. Okay. Is that it?
His most treasured moment is cutting garlic.
Cutting garlic, yeah. It's with him forever. I mean, I definitely
else?
have moments. There's nothing that will equal to my daughter being born, but there are so many fond memories of like me and my grandparents or me and my parents or simple things, you know, like winning my first best in show owner handler. That's a moment that will always be with me. The first time I delivered a puppy will always be with me. That moment, you know, just the same with the baby, right? They come out and their eyes aren't open, obviously, but just feeling that life
it
in
was
your
our
hands.
turn to have the Barkley honors, huh? Hold on.
Oh yeah.
Keep talking.
Okay.
What?
Wants to wear it.
Oh, I was like, what is happening?
Nathan. See, it's funny because you're like, oh, the first time you birthed the puppy, but like,
Is that gonna be your? That's a good moment.
oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
that
a
was a-
treasured moment. But the first puppies I took care of was literally terrifying. So I was the opposite, just a ball of anxiety.
No, I mean, I definitely had anxiety because I have anxiety about everything. But the moment the puppy, that exact moment, like when Ellie was, you know, the puppy came out and it was alive. That's just such a relief, and it's such an overwhelming experience of just like, it's alive.
Thank God.
Thank God it's not dead yet.
Yeah, that was a huge cherished moment. That's
Yeah.
true.
All right. Well, one of my most cherished moments is this last year starting a podcast with my best friends and then winning podcast of the year for our industry.
That was,
People are probably so sick of hearing it, but
it
But
was
we loved
amazing.
it, yeah.
Being on
Yeah.
stage with you guys
It
was
was-
definitely
Yeah.
a pivotal memory.
I have a confession to make. I kind of go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Regularly.
I've watched it a couple
Nice.
times. Yeah.
do you have a really good recording of it?
No, just the reel. I just watched the reel.
I
You
love
did
it.
It was a fantastic speech.
Yeah,
Oh, thanks.
it was fantastic.
I could tell. You could tell how nervous you are saying it.
Yeah.
You know, you could like feel your
Like
energy.
Well,
excitement.
it's scary and,
Yeah.
and exciting and all of the above, you know?
Yeah. I was I didn't expect as many people to clap as they did. I was like, oh my God, they're happy for us. That's cool.
They're
Everyone
all
was
like,
happy,
fuck you
yeah.
guys. No.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder how many people actually are from the industry are listening. You know, like, and because everyone seemed to know.
Yeah. Okay, do we want to...
Wait, did you say yours? Was that this? Yeah.
That was that.
That
Yeah.
was that.
Well, and his.
I mean, and
Child
and
being
being becoming a daddy,
A
big
daddy.
deal. Did he?
What about a zaddy?
Are you old enough to be a zaddy?
He's been
Somebody
called it
called
once.
me. I've been called it, and I don't know how I feel about it. Obviously, a woman calling me attractive is awesome, but when it's connected to old, it's like it's not as quite as awesome.
What is
you
the
know?
exact definition of zaddy?
All right, let's bring it up and let's get it on here.
An attractive man who is also stylish, charming, and self-confident.
Okay, that's not anything
Yeah,
to
it
do with
doesn't say anything
old.
about being old.
Okay, you need to look at.
Oh, that
A
one says
sexually
older
attractive
one.
man, especially an older one, who is fashionable or charismatic. Okay.
Where does the other one? Oh, the other one's from dictionary, and where's the second one from?
Oxford languages.
Yeah, Oxford.
Mm.
Let's see what this one says. While a daddy is attractive to what's an attractive older man, a zaddy is a man with swag, who is attractive and also fashionable. I
But
didn't
what do they?
realize
But what,
fashion
I mean,
was
I'll
like
take
such
that.
a-
but what do they consider older? Because I think they just mean like old enough to have
Well, it
kids.
says that one
because
says
it's
wall
a
daddy is attractive older man.
That's
So
what I mean. Yeah.
Is daddy a younger, hipper one?
At what age do you become a zaddy? Early 30s to late 60s. Okay,
Oh my God,
that's a big. That's a
that's
big,
a big
range.
ass
That's a big
window. It's a
gap.
30-year window.
And
So
when you're
okay, if you're
61,
in your
do you-
when you hit 70, what? You're just like just
Old.
just old,
just old
too close to death. To
grandpa.
You're not a zaddy no more. You're a grand zaddy.
Look, it
A
says
grampy.
it says, do zaddies have to have children? No, zaddies don't have to have kids.
Early 30s or late 60s. That's
But
doesn't
weird.
make me feel better.
but-
That's for sure.
But it's funny. It says or. not two. It says
Yeah,
or. So either just in your early
Okay,
30s.
so who's a zaddy in your mind in their 60s?
I don't
in
know how
their
old.
60s.
I don't know how old some of them are.
Can you think of any?
Patrick Dempsey.
Is he 60? He's not 60.
Oh please, what?
How old is he?
I don't know.
He's getting older looking.
What about the guy from Jurassic Park? What's his name? Is he 60?
Jeff Goldblum. I
Yeah.
don't think he's. I don't like.
You
him.
don't like
You
him?
don't like
I
him?
love
I like
him.
He's handsome. I just don't like his voice.
Oh my god.
That's like what people like.
No.
Look up how old he is.
You can just put actors in their 60s.
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt is 60?
I was gonna say Liam
What?
Neeson.
I'm not a big Liam
Oh,
Neeson
George
person.
Clooney.
Brad Pitt though.
Oh, Pierce. Oh, he's 71. It says.
He's
Pierce
too old
Brosnan.
now.
Okay, George
There's-
Clooney is a zaddy for me.
Yeah,
George
he's a
Clooney.
zaddy.
What about Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt's a zaddy for me.
I appreciate.
I didn't know Harrison Ford is 82.
What about Kevin
Jesus.
Costner? Kevin Costner?
Where is
No,
he?
Kevin Costner. Yeah. He's
Richard
that-
Gere?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I like all
Said
them when they were
75.
younger.
Yeah.
not so much
But
anymore.
George Clooney's beautiful now.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
still good looking. Anyways,
Anyway,
how did we get on this topic of zaddies?
oh, because someone called him a zaddy.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
and
Liam
it was,
Neeson.
Okay.
it was a little weird.
Okay.
Oh my God. Some of these people are old.
I know.
Hey, Michael Crane has the same birthday. March 14th.
That's
Okay.
who? You?
Me.
Happy birthday.
Okay. Anyways, it's November. Anyway, okay. Do we want to pick one of these and just do one, and then we'll get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, do it like
Oh,
Uno.
what are these?
Or do
Oh,
it like
pick-
Goldfish.
Pick 1 through 4.
Two.
2.
That's the one I wanted because it was backwards from the way I was looking at it.
What was your first kiss like?
Sloppy and gross.
It was nice.
Oh,
It
yeah?
was with the girl
Tell
at
me
a
more.
Motel 6. It was at a girl at a
Motel
Motel 6.
6.
Yeah,
Oh
me
my
and my
God.
mom were living at the Motel 6, and her parents were homeless too. And she was this like cute white girl. I forget her name. I forget like basically everything, but she had like blonde straight hair. And like, oh, I actually thought about this recently because I was just talking to Owen about it, about like, you know,
First kisses.
First.
and you know, it was really shy and like really embarrassing. But like once the first kiss happened, we kissed a lot, you know. But I think I was in like 6th grade or something. Well, maybe 4th or 5th. But I forget her name. I'll think on it a little bit, but I forget the girl's name.
Don't think on it too hard.
Well, she
I'm
like
just kidding.
moved away. She moved away,
just
and like I'd never seen her again after like the summer.
Aw.
The one that got away.
Summer
Kidding.
love.
He's stuck now.
Yeah.
Mine was really sweet because it was like my dad was in the Navy, so we lived on a naval base. And I was in elementary school. I don't remember how old I was though, but So it was another kid whose dad was also in the Navy, and I had a crush on him for forever. And his family was babysitting me and my brothers. And so I remember we were watching a movie, and then I don't know if somebody else threw the blanket over us or if we did. I don't remember, but somebody threw a blanket over us, and then he kissed me. And I thought it was so sweet. And then later they were playing music in their room, and we danced. And I thought I was going to marry him.
In elementary school.
You know what?
Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
I do know what his name is.
All right, tell him we're gonna fight.
Okay. I'm pretty sure he's married with kids now, too. His name was Daniel.
All right.
Daniel?
what?
You can
Daniel
fight-
Persinger.
You can fight his wife too.
I can find
Well,
his
our kids will fight as well.
I'm pretty sure because his kids are younger than ours.
Good. Advantage. We got the advantage, baby.
Okay, anyways. Juan.
My first kiss with a girl was in 8th grade, and it was behind my grandma's house. It was one of my cousin's friends.
Oh, I was about to be like, pause.
I thought you could say cousin
Pause.
Joe.
It was one of my cousin's friends, and my cousin brought, it was like her little boyfriend, and then her friend Alejandra, and then me. And then I think she wanted to kiss me, the Alejandra. So then she's like, let's play spin the bottle. And it's like, okay, well, it's my cousin and her boyfriend, and then me and you. But then she turned it, pointed it at me, and then like just grabbed me.
Yeah.
And then I was like stunned. And then she came to every family party for like a good year. So we were like making out all
Oh,
the
yeah?
time.
Mackin'.
Like my cousin's closets, like the bathroom. We would make out a lot. Sorry, Mom. I know she watches this.
So were you like, did you know or have an inkling that you were gay yet?
Yeah, I mean, I had a thought because I remember I was struggling a lot with like, am I bi? Am I like gay? I like girls. She was really pretty. She had amazing boobs, So I was like, I'm into this,
Yeah.
Was that answer your question? I forget what the question was.
Yeah, it does.
And then for my first boy kiss, I was 18. It was my freshman year of college. And we were just hanging out, right? Because I didn't know we were just hanging out, and he like took me to like, it was in San Jose up onto the hill to like look down at the lights. Of course, it was like a romantic thing, right? And then he just like, we had looked at each other and we just kissed, and that like felt like
Right.
And then
Were you hanging out with
Sweet.
him knowing he was a gay dude, or was it like
Yeah.
a broke back thing?
no, I knew he was gay. I know he was gay. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know.
You never know.
Just a couple of bros hanging out. We're like, hey,
Looking at the city lights.
like let's go up on the makeout point, bro.
Anyways.
What about you?
I don't remember
I-
exactly when it was, but I'm pretty sure I was playing Truth or Dare with the neighbors, and that was probably my first kiss. Yeah. The neighbor across the street.
So
Ryan.
when we used to play Truth or
Or
Dare,
Daniel.
our Truth or Dare,
remember.
I can't even say any of it, but our Truth or Dare, like when we were like younger, got so extreme, like extreme
did
Truth
too.
or Dare. And like, I hope my kids are never in the middle of extreme Truth or Dare like we were, because like we were doing shit like it was not appropriate or good or like,
Like to each other?
huh? Yeah. Yeah. It'd be like me and my friend and these two girls that were like friends too. And it'd just be like, who can like that. Never mind.
Anyways.
Nothing really bad, but like things kids shouldn't be doing,
Yeah.
We played Truth or Dare like that too.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever play doctor growing up?
Well, yeah. Doctor.
Like, doctor.
Dr.
Like
Barber.
giving each other physicals, doctor?
Oh no, we never did that.
Oh, okay.
Not that far, no.
I do remember
I
one
was like,
time
yeah,
we
I
were
played
playing.
doctor.
Oh,
We
Yeah,
were
like
playing,
doctor with little fake little syringes, blood pressure cuffs, and stuff.
Physicals.
Like, hey, now drop
You're
out.
Put some
You're
gloves
like,
on.
bend your head in. What was
Turn your head and
turn your head
cough.
and cough. Yeah, turn your head and cough.
And it's like kids now when they hang out, they're just like chilling on, looking on their
With
on
their
their
phone
phones
device.
or like.
Do you
Yeah.
think kids now have as much fun as we did when we were younger?
No.
No,
I think
well, in a
they,
different
I think
way.
it's a different
they
time.
watch other kids have fun
Yeah.
online.
On YouTube?
On the YouTube.
So I do feel sad about it, but I also think like I'm putting my perspective on
It's
it.
just different now.
Yeah, it's different,
It's just
and it'll
different.
probably be different
for their kids.
for their kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about the way AI is and stuff now. Like now, there's doing those AI chatbots like that are popular with kids. That like you can like have a conversation with your favorite cartoon character or anime character. Like, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
But
I'm getting a lot of ads for AI boyfriends.
Oh.
Ronnie.
and people be falling in love, like literally
Did you
falling
see
in love with
that thing recently?
the
yeah.
kid. Yeah.
Sad.
I don't know
It
though,
is
but I
super
looked
sad.
into it, or like we were watching the thing, and I like feel like it wasn't necessarily like
Well, a lot of people
AI's
were.
fault.
Well, a lot of people though are like disagreeing with the thing on the comments and stuff. So who really knows unless we're like.
Yeah.
But it does seem like really weird. Like 3 years ago or whatever, no one would be like falling in love with AI. But now,
Yeah.
I remember I was joking about it. That movie Her came out, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And I thought like, this is gonna happen in 100 years. This will be happening. It's happening now. People are falling in love with AI.
She was
right
a
now.
mannequin, right, or something like that.
No, it was
She was like a
she's
Siri
an
type
iOS,
thing.
like an iOS
Oh,
operating
okay.
system, and it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
Super good movie, super good. You haven't seen it?
Mm-mm.
You would love it.
Would I?
It's a romance,
Oh, okay.
but
I
it's
would
a little
love it.
sad at the end, and it's funny.
Well, she's
and it's like-
did he find out she's not real?
No, they
No,
know,
he
he
knows.
knows she's not real
and
from
he
the
doesn't.
start.
He knows she's not real, and he doesn't. He's not like trying to fall in love. You have to see it.
Okay.
It's really good, and it's Joaquin Phoenix, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I mean,
And
everything.
Scarlett Johansson.
And Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
She's the voice.
She's
She
the
has a
bo-
pretty voice.
She does have a sultry voice.
Anyway, so
What were we talking? Oh, first kiss.
First
Okay.
kiss.
All right, now
I think
what's
we
next?
I think we're properly warmed up at this point. Okay, well, so I mean, the month of October was kind of wild, at least for me in particular, because I started the month by flying to the Montgomery Dog Show, as I do every year, and that was super fun. I mean, I got to see all the beautiful dogs, learn a lot. So, I mean, it was a good time, just like usual.
I know it's like a terrier specialty, but is there all breed shows too, or is it just specifically?
It is an all breed show. So it's the Thursday and Friday, I believe, are all breed. And Thursday, Friday, Saturday are all breed, but Sunday is just terriers.
Okay.
So, and then like this upcoming next year, they'll have Wednesday, and it's Morrison X6, and it's only every 5 years.
I really want to go. That's on my bucket list.
So, but yeah, it was a great time. I mean, nothing interesting necessarily to report. It was just a good time. And then I flew home and spent 2 days at home, less than 2 days, really. It was like a day and a half. And Nathan and I flew to New Zealand.
Yeah, and had the fucking time of our lives. It was so incredible.
No, it was really awesome. The flight was like relatively easy. I mean, we did have some turbulence, nothing crazy, but
You got some awesome
the
food on
turbulence
there.
was actually pretty bad. Like, I mean, for people that don't fly, if you're
Turbulence.
somebody that like doesn't fly, I think it would have freaked most people out, because it was like maybe for a good hour, it was just like,
no, more than that, to be honest.
and I'm like falling in and out of sleep, but it was helping me sleep a little. But
Rocking
we've
you.
also been in a lot of planes and a lot of turbulence lately, so like it wasn't scaring me. But you can tell people were like a little weirded out, because we're over the Pacific, right?
Yeah.
No land for.
Yeah, that was, I think, for me, I think that was the freakiest part, is because like
You crash
just,
in the ocean, no one find you.
You're just flying straight over the ocean the entire time. There's no like when we fly across country to like New York,
I
it's
always
all
think that like
land.
if a plane lands in the water, shouldn't it just float?
It
It's
depends-
airtight.
It depends on the angle it lands at.
And it depends if it breaks upon impact, because you can like jump off a bridge and it's like hitting concrete. So it depends how high you are, the velocity.
A belly flop hurts from like a diving board.
Yeah,
Imagine.
but
Yeah.
then planes like glide down; they don't just fall.
Not if they're crashing. If they like,
They can go. "Ring."
But why would a plane do that? You just pull up,
but if
right?
the motor's out.
Yeah, but it's still gliding. It still like has the ability to like glide,
I don't know.
right?
You're asking the wrong
I've never heard of
person.
people living from an ocean crash though, so I don't know. Maybe.
How often does it happen though? That's the thing, is it doesn't happen like
Well, there was one like a couple years ago and they like still can't find the piece.
The Malaysian.
Yeah, they
flight.
still can't like find it.
yeah,
Yeah,
but
the
how number one, how many flights are occurring?
Oh,
and
I know it's
several
super
years
safe.
ago was the last time.
I know
Like,
it's super safe, but it would just help me to know that once upon a time a plane and everybody lived when it landed in the
We'll
water?
look it up. We'll look it up.
Oh, well, and it landed in the water. You can do the Hudson River thing.
That
They
doesn't
all
count.
lived.
He's an American hero.
It's water.
Okay. Anyway, but yeah, the flight was good. I mean, so it was like a red eye. So like they fed us dinner and they ply you with alcohol for free, even though
Yeah.
we had
Nice.
just regular Joe seats.
Yeah, as
They're
much
like,
as you want too. So, just
They offered it to
They
us
want you
like
to pass
3
out.
times. Yeah, they're like, wine, more wine, and we're like, no, we're good, thanks.
But then we wake up and I'm shaking around from the turbulence, and I'm like, can I go back to sleep? But
Yeah.
just the right amount of alcohol.
And then we woke up and it was like 6 a.m. in New Zealand. So it was a 13-hour flight. And I feel like we slept most of the time, but then they wake you up and they feed you breakfast. And so then once we were in New Zealand, we're like, just go for it, right? At 6 a.m. We slept most of the time. So let's just like go. No naps, no nothing, just go hard.
Naps are for the week.
Yeah, naps are for the
You
week.
got, what day of the week did you get there?
We flew forward in
Thursday.
time.
So we left on
That's right.
Tuesday evening and we got there Thursday morning. And so
So weird.
yeah, super weird. And it was fantastic though. That first day we just kind of like lounged around and got the lay of the land, and then we went to Hobbiton, and that was incredible.
So jealous.
That was so fun. And we met Blake out there obviously, and he is a terrible driver. We love you, Blake, but it put my driving makes him, I look like a saint.
You see that? Like, is it like
Roasted.
speeding or swerving and like
All
what?
of the above.
All of it. Okay.
So,
Okay, so
like-
he speeds and like we're talking, so he pays attention. He none of us got hurt. To his credit, no one got hurt.
We love
I
you,
mean,
Blake.
A lot of people felt a little car sick because like there was a lot of like more
Jolting.
jerky driving.
Well, okay, so he said I never drive anybody.
'Cause he always
He's
drives
like, it's
himself.
only just me. And so when we did take a nap, he would drive nice. But then, yeah, if he gets excited or anything, then he
Yeah, that's
he
what it'd be tied to. We're all talking and he'd be excited, and then all of a sudden he's like,
And then he does a lot of the like go, like so he'll like ride up on somebody and then let off, and then ride up on somebody and then let off. So it's
Yeah.
a lot of like this, like
back and forth, yeah. And like for like a short trip, it's not noticeable, but when we're like
everything's far away there.
on a 2-hour trek, it got a lot. But
wa-
then like
yeah.
he let me drive too, and I like really am. Katie drilled it into me when she was caught when she was in our first trimester. She was really had a lot of motion sickness and just like what is it called, babe?
Yeah, morning sickness.
Morning sickness. So like I really concentrate on braking and accelerating as least as I can
Smooth.
and keeping my motions and like going into the turns just right to make. So I, volunteered to drive whenever, but me and Blake like
Traded.
traded. We were both on the thing.
But in the first, he already had the rental car for the first like leg of the trip, so Nathan wasn't on it.
How was driving on the wrong side of the road?
It actually was pretty easy.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah, it was weird though. Like it was like weird to like see. There was a couple of times if we were all chit chatting and Nathan wasn't paying attention and he was like making a turn, he would almost go in the wrong lane.
Yeah,
and
like
then,
a couple times.
and then we're like, no.
I could see that happening.
Yeah, because like, it's hard to like think about if you've been going straight for like an hour and then now you have to make a turn and you just like forget about being on the other side of the road.
But it's funny. 'Cause I was defending him the whole time because
Oh,
like
Blake, yeah.
everyone's getting on him. Like I feel sick and you're driving crazy, and I'm like he's driving just fine. And
He's
it's
a
okay.
good driver.
Because I didn't want to like. I just didn't want
Nathan
to make
didn't
him
want a
feel
dog
bad.
pile. We love you, Blake. You have
But,
so
like-
many other talents.
And it's so funny because on his episode when he was on, I was making fun of or like commented on her driving.
Yeah,
so,
so
it was
we
a
thought
big. It was a
funny.
big thing.
We thought
The
it was
whole
funny.
trip, it was a thing.
Well,
Did
and
he
so-
ask who's worse, me or Katie?
Yeah,
It was.
it was brought up.
No comment. No.
I was like, what's
Katie's
the
a good
answer?
driver. Katie's a good driver, so
Yeah.
Blake is. Katie's obviously a better driver.
Anyways,
Done.
and he brought his like high school best friend Laura, and honestly, I loved her so much. She was super funny, really relaxed. And they were like a very fun pair to take this trip with. So we had a lot of fun. We did the Hobbiton.
Oh, and on the first night, right, we get there and I'm hungry, and Blake and his friend Laura, like they're super cool. So like I've always known, well, we've known Blake for a long time, but we really got to know him, right? So we all got along great, which was good. But the first night, like we went our separate ways, and we're
After
what are
Hobbiton,
we gonna get to eat, right? So we go down right. We got this incredible room. We need to put up pictures because I'll put up pictures of the room. And
yeah, they got us like practically it was like an apartment.
It was huge.
we get to this like Pizza Hut at the corner of the building, and we go in there, and Blake and his friend Laura are in there, and they're leaving, and we're like, all right, later. So I order the pizza, and I look at the guy, and I'm like, oh, let me get a butter chicken pizza. I've never seen that. I'm like, oh, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
So I get the butter chicken pizza, and I go, oh, could I get some marinara on the side?
For the garlic bread.
And he looks at me and he goes, I think he says marinara. Marinara? And I'm like, yeah, he has an accent. And I'm like, yeah. So he takes my pizza.
And we're like, why do you take the pizza back to get us
just
marinara?
Watching him, right? Because he's right behind the counter. I'm watching him, and he puts the pizza down, and he picks up this squirt tube of white sauce and goes like, and just starts spraying the whole pizza with this white sauce, like covering the whole thing with it. And I go, what was that? And he goes, mayonnaise. He's covered our pizza.
Why do you even have
So he covered our butter chicken pizza in mayonnaise, in mayo.
Mayonnaise in their accent, kind of marinars.
Yeah.
Marinara.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, so then
I guess like
you should
it's
say
popular
tomato
there.
sauce.
Like
no, so they don't do ketchup out there. They don't.
Yeah.
So it's tomato sauce.
and it's similar, but it's different.
It's different, and they do. Yeah, they
Oh,
don't
no,
do ketchup.
I can't take it.
They don't do ketchup. They do a
and
tomato sauce.
they're 100%. Our sauce is better than ketchup too. They're
Oh
like,
yeah, they're
no,
like
tomato sauce is it.
No ketchup. They're like yuck. Tomato sauce.
And it's very similar, but it is different.
But it's funny because like mayo is super popular because we're like, why would you even have mayo at a pizza place? That doesn't even make sense.
Why do you have a giant spray tube ready to just douse a pizza complete? And you know, like you see those sauce videos. He did like that, and just like fancy as fuck, just covered the whole thing.
He didn't even bat an eye. Like, oh, that's weird to put mayo on the pizza. He was just like, yeah, okay.
So how was the pizza?
It was
Yeah,
fine.
it was good. It was
With
good.
the mayonnaise?
Well, mayonnaise is a pretty light flavor.
That's true.
Right? So it was just
a
it
little
just made it like more
creamy.
creamy. So I mean, when he did it, I really at that moment when he said it was mayonnaise, I like thought in my mind like, should I just tell him to make this thing again? Because
But we were so hungry and it was late.
and he was super
we were
nice and like
tired.
it was
It was a miscommunication.
yeah, so not a big deal. I'm like, I'm gonna suck it up. I'm a big boy.
It was fine.
Did you get marinara? For
No.
No, they don't do that.
They don't do marinara. We didn't
No,
know.
they do, but they call it like they said
It's
it was
just the
like
tomato
pizza sauce or
oh,
pizza sauce.
You're right. They said pizza sauce. So I was like,
Because
Nathan.
everyone there speaks English.
I was going to
Just-
say, is there a different language or is there just
No,
English with an
it's-
accent?
It's
So there
just
is-
English with an accent. Oh, they
And
do
it's
have-
not a very strong accent in comparison, right? Like
I assumed it would be like Australian.
It's
Yeah.
similar.
Okay,
It's
okay.
similar.
so
Don't say that though.
It felt a lot like being to me, it being the first country that I've ever been to besides like home, America, right? It's felt very natural. Like everyone, you know, the music was music I'm used to, the cars, and everyone was super friendly. So it was really like very similar.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Just
very
the pizza
similar.
thing was
But
threw me for a loop. I thought I was in the Twilight Zone for a second.
There was several times, and I'll have to try and remember the other instances because Nathan kept doing this. Oh, one time we went to go get ice cream, remember? And he kept trying to like specialize his stuff, and I was like, stop doing
Nathan?
that. Yes, because what did you ask for? You wanted to ask for like, you wanted a smaller cone. Because they had like the bigger cones, and he was like, oh, do you have a smaller cone for the ice cream? And they were like, yeah, sure. And then they gave him a tiny scoop of ice cream on the huge cone.
And I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to speak no more. I'm like, we're speaking the same language. And like, I can understand you.
It was so funny though. And I was like, why do you keep trying to give them special instructions?
I don't know. It was good.
Just
ice
it as
take
cream,
it
though.
is.
as it is. So
So
funny.
just imagine a giant cone with like a tiny scoop of ice cream in it.
We were all just like dying laughing at him because
I
it
was
was
all,
all
"Thank
of
you."
us. It was like
Just what I asked for.
it was Blake and Laura and
She was very
Aaron
nice,
and,
so I was just like, all right.
and we're
But and
just
everyone there is
dying.
super nice. I get there's no tipping. You know,
Yeah, they
people
don't
don't tip.
They
How
don't
did- how did
really
it
do
feel?
tipping out there.
It felt
To
weird,
not
but
tip was
so
weird.
in the tourist places though, there are tip jars and stuff, and you can tip, but there's just not the expectation like here.
So yeah, because we had Arina was our she's a native New Zealander. She's the one who
and
had
there
us
is
out.
like a native language, but I forget what it's
okay.
called. I don't want to butcher it.
Mao or Moi. I can't say it right.
Yeah, it's pretty though.
It's beautiful. Arina was like, we don't tip here. Don't do that. And we're like, okay.
Is it like disrespectful?
Not disrespectful, but she's like, we just don't do that here.
She said the
Everybody
money's
gets
included in the
paid.
bill.
Yeah, she said everybody is paid appropriately. And so anyway, so the first like morning after that, right? I'm a breakfast person, but they are somewhat different in New Zealand. People have a healthy work-life balance.
What is
What's that?
Yeah. So like nothing was like open. I was like, I'm a brekkie person. I need my brekkie, right? Like I need breakfast. And like nothing was open. We're like walking around and it would be like a coffee place. And one guy was like setting up and I was like, oh, are you guys open? And it was like 7:30. So it wasn't hella early, 7:30. And he's like, no, we're not open. And I was like, well, when do you think you'll be open? And because it said 7:30 online. And he was like, I don't know, maybe like an hour. And I was like, oh my God. So like nobody opens up early there. And they all like, they don't like a lot of places aren't open on weekends. And
Well, there's a lot of people are saying we just have a really healthy like work-life balance,
Which I think is
it's like we
great.
prioritize that. And I'm like, right on.
I think that's great. And so we did eventually find a place that was not like just right across the street that did breakfast. But their breakfasts are also different and so delicious. They do meat pies. And like, so we would wake up and go into like the cutest little like breakfast place. They had tons of stuff that
But
looked
people
good.
were saying it's like their junk food though.
Oh, and I loved it though.
But you know what? Every morning I had a meat pie.
No, but see, it was cute though because we'd go in and their coffee is also incredible. And so I'd be like, make me a flat white and 2 meat pies. And the meat pies are like this minced like beef and then cheese.
How big are they?
They're like this size.
They're like a generous size.
Yeah.
So you eat one and you're
They're
like
personal.
full.
And then and then a delicious salad to go with it. And that
Yeah,
was
like a
Yeah.
mixed greens.
it was so good though. So tasty. And so every morning we'd go and get it.
Definitely wasn't like healthy.
We definitely gained weight. And then we'd walk to the show because the competition was like a 10-minute walk. So we'd walk to the show, and it was really beautiful out there. And the show was fantastic. Arina and Wendy put on an incredible show. It was so well done.
Yeah, it was great.
The first day we got to teach, and so that was really fun. We had a full class, and so that was really nice to see all the little Kiwi groomers. And
And they're so hungry
they
to
were
learn.
so sweet too. One of them made us little octopuses, like crocheted them.
Cute.
And
Is that a thing out there? Octopus?
no, I don't think so. I think she was just really sweet. And
I think there's octopus there though.
well, yeah, I think there's octopus there, but I don't think it's like a thing. But no, it was really, really cool. It was really fun. I like tweaked my back somehow though, like that first morning.
You probably sneezed.
Probably, yeah. So then like I was
Blake's
like
driving.
I was like hoping nobody noticed because like we're like teaching and in my head like I could barely stand up straight, and I'm like trying to stand up straight and teach, and my back was just like killing me, and I was like, I hope nobody thinks I'm like hunched over like a freaking witch or something. And I could barely concentrate sometimes, so I hope nobody noticed. I hope you guys still learned a lot.
I don't think so.
By the next day it was fine.
Yeah.
But it was really fun, and we did like a hands-on thing at the end of the day with Blake, and that was cool because somebody brought a Scotty, a New Zealand Scotty, so that
Yeah.
was really, really fun for me. I mean, there was a lot of really good dogs, but that was, of course, for me, it was somewhat of a highlight to like feel the confirmation on a New Zealand Scotty and give her some
And?
tips. And It
How
was
was it?
nice. It was actually a nice dog. So it was nice to see. And then the next day or the next 2 days were competition days. And it
we
was
we judged for the first time.
yeah.
And I will say, I have a newfound respect for judges.
Oh,
I've always made a
absolutely, yeah.
point to be kind to the judges and like nice, but like it was affecting me drastically. Not like because you feel like you're crushing these people,
Yeah.
you know. So, and I was just doing this little tiny show. It was a great show, but you know, it's a smaller show. I couldn't imagine like every weekend going out to big shows and just
Crushing
like
hundreds of-
crushing people's souls.
Well, especially people you've like grown attached to, you know.
Yeah. And
like,
you're seeing everyone's giving everything they have at that moment.
Yeah.
So like,
I specifically asked to not judge the group that had the girl with the Scotty that we had mentored the day before because I was like, I feel too attached. Because that's like my heart. Because she like shows them too out there. So I was like, I don't want to judge that class.
Yeah.
I feel too attached.
And that's a
Yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
I wonder if judges do that regularly, or if they're like, I'm strong enough to just not let that affect me. But it's like, it kind of.
well,
I'm sure
like
you
here-
get more used to it too, though, is the thing, right? Like that was my first time. So I do feel, like
but I definitely came away with a respect.
absolutely. Yeah.
Even more of a respect for the judges
Well,
now.
do they not like pre-plan the judges like how we do? We're like, oh, intermediate's being judged by this person and entry that person.
Well, I think it depends. This was like the first time this was their first competition for Aaron and Wendy to put on. So I think that they kind of left it up to us to decide what we wanted to do. Just because they were like, hey, you guys are from America and you guys do it differently out there. So however you want to do it. And we kind of referred to Blake since he has a lot more experience than we do. But yeah, I mean,
It was nice having him there because he has experience judging.
yeah, so it was really nice because we got to be like mentored at the same time. And I mean, yeah, we learned a lot. I definitely came out of it with like a respect for the judges. And then I thought it was so interesting to see it from the other side of things. I learned a lot. And so hopefully we can apply some of that when we start competing next year. And then, so I mean, that was awesome. That was super, super fun. The whole thing was incredibly well done. Aaron and Wendy did such a good job. They had great sponsors. All the people who attended were fantastic. All the competitors, like it was just really, really cool to see because they definitely, the Kiwi groomers were so sweet. They really wanted to learn. They really wanted to do a good job. And so I'll be excited to see them again. And so, I mean, it was great. It was like such a lovely experience. And then after that, because that was only 3 days, we flew so Auckland is on the Northern Island, and that's where we did the
I think that's where most of the people
competition.
live.
And then we flew to the Southern Island down to Queenstown. And that is,
So you could like imagine you're flying into like, it was kind of incredible. It was kind of actually a little weird in the best way where like, it's like this little tiny town. We have this hotel with a view of the water, right? And when I wake up in the morning, because we're still early, so we're still waking up like an hour or two earlier than we normally do. So we're waking up at like 6 a.m. or 5. And we go out onto the balcony and look, and they're like scrubbing the sidewalks. Like every morning, they're scrubbing the sidewalks and power washing them.
it was super clean out there.
Yeah,
Super clean.
and
The
you go-
food, super
You
delicious.
go down to this
Maybe
little
they have a
harbor.
20-second rule.
Yeah.
You go down to this little harbor, and the water is so clear, and you could see freaking 2-foot-long rainbow trout just swimming along in the water, all over the place.
Nathan's
And-
like, where's my pole?
yeah,
No, seriously, yeah.
And we're talking to people at nighttime. It's like 9 o'clock, and there's still kids out like riding their bikes, and with other kids, you know, like
yeah. Very low crime rates.
no police. There was police there, but they were like,
Not needed in the same way they
yeah,
are
it
here.
just seemed like so safe,
yeah.
you know. And
So America sucks. I'm just kidding.
I
it's
tell ya.
definitely different,
Yeah.
you know. Like I don't want to be a downer, but like my son calls because he's like, they think there was a shooting or like someone was a threat of a shooting at the school. So he's telling me, oh, Dad, can I stay home next week? And it ended up being nothing, but like, that's the reality right now.
It was scary.
But over there, it just felt like another world.
Well, it's all one small island, right?
Mhm.
So
And
like you can't get the weapons are harder to get out there.
And we talked to people and they're like, oh yeah, I left my wallet on the park bench there for 2 hours on one time, and I came back and the police officer had it in the area, and just like things like that, on and on and on. It just,
It was just very different.
If you talk to people there, some of them are like, oh yeah, there is a little bit of crime here and there, and I'm like, like I'm from Oakland,
Well, it's
So,
funny
like,
because
some people are like, oh, you're from Oakland, huh? And I'm like, yeah, I'm from Oakland.
Do they know what Oakland is over
Yes,
there?
yes.
Oh,
A lot of them do. So when you say Oakland, they're like, oh,
or
wow. you're
some
from
of them think you have an accent and you're saying Auckland,
Yeah.
though. And same thing. So Erna, she lived out here for like 13 years in California, working at a grooming salon. And same thing. She said she would tell people she was from Auckland and people thought she was saying Oakland. And they'd be like, oh.
It is kind of a badge, though, of honor.
I
You're like,
know,
oh,
you-
I'm from Oakland. And then people are like, oh, Oakland, huh? Tough as nails.
Anyway. But yeah, no, I mean, Queenstown was beautiful. Just flying in.
The most beautiful city
You're
I've ever
flying
been to.
in and there's 2 mountains on either side. Like you're flying in and it's like very narrow. And like there's snow on the mountains as you're flying in, and you like come out and it's very crisp, but it's not cold enough to like
Because we were
need
there,
to bundle
it was spring.
up.
It was spring when we landed.
It was
Okay.
yeah, it was starting to be spring. And
So like it's fall coming in. It's fall here. It's spring there.
yeah. And so it was beautiful. Yeah, we like went and we like took a gondola up this mountain, and it was really fun. Erina's really fun. She's like, we gotta take tequila shots before we go on the luge. And so
The
we went-
luge.
it's well, I'll explain it.
I have
So
a video of it, but it's like go-karts. I'll put the video
it's
out when
kind of
this
like
drops.
go-karts, yeah.
It's kind of like go-karts, but it's gravity powered,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and you could like steer and brake. So
Oh, But
it's
you
just
can
like a
go pretty
track.
fast,
It's an
yeah.
elevated track that goes down the hill like that.
So
and
we
it's
go-
super fun. Blake tried to talk some shit though. He's like, I'm gonna beat you downhill. Smoked him every time.
Sorry, Blake.
Hmm.
No,
Bad
it
driving
was-
comes into that too.
He's competitive just like me.
It was
You know?
super fun though. Yeah, because then we like went into, we like stopped in and got a shot of tequila, and then you go up this gondola, and so you're like on this like cliffside. And I guess New Zealand is known for like they're the home or like the original like bungee jumping. That's where like it started. So they have like all these extreme like bungee jumping, giant swings off the side of the like because their whole island is from volcanoes. So they have like huge like mountains, and so it was super fun because then you're like on this like mountain and it's so beautiful. The scenery is like incredible, like nothing you've ever seen. And then you're just like fucking riding like go-karts down the side of this mountain. Like it was super fun.
Anywhere you stop and you look, it's just like you're in Lord of the Rings or something. And
Yeah.
This beautiful mountainscape.
So that was super fun. And then like the next day we drove all the way down to the very bottom of the island. And so it's like the closest you can get to like
So like
Antarctica.
bring it up on here because you're pretty close to the like bottom of the world.
You could put in the Bluff, New Zealand, and it should like. But so that was super fun.
The bluff.
The Bluff, yeah. Oh, there's I don't
Farther,
think that
farther.
island is like a protected island. It's like all birds or something. But see, that's like as close as you can get practically.
Yeah.
So we were all the way down there,
Yeah.
which was great.
So that
So
was.
And we
what
took
was,
a
like, the
picture. We took a
average
picture with
temperature?
that. Like, it actually wasn't that bad.
It was like 60 to 70 every
Yeah.
day.
And we took a picture with that, like, that sign.
Yeah, we'll post those. And
So
then
you were in Auckland. Okay.
yeah,
Auckland's
Auckland's
up there.
north, and then we flew down to Queenstown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Queenstown right there. Zoom into Queenstown and you can kind of see it's like in a lake or like there's a huge lake, crystal clear blue water.
this?
Yeah, and
Yeah, so we stayed right in
and we
the
rode a jet boat. See that river coming where it's Queenstown right there, that river in there? We took a jet boat up that river and we're like jet boating around. We got a video about that. We'll post that.
Yeah, so we were staying like right in this little like nookie area.
That's cool.
Nookie.
It was like
It was super fun. Yeah, so we did the jet boat.
so. Katie tried to get out of the jet boat though.
Oh my god. Because you
So
let
we're
because you
walking
let
up to the
Blake,
jet-
no, because you
No,
let
no,
Blake
I did it
drive.
on purpose. So we get there. We're looking for a place to eat.
I was
right?
nauseous.
And I see the jet boat people, and I'm like, Katie earlier in the day said, "Oh, the last time is like at 5," and I was like, "Okay." So I just asked them, "Hey, when's the latest time?" And they're like, "Oh, 6." So it was in an hour, and I go, "Oh, Katie, the jet boat, they have one more in an hour," and she goes, "Oh, I don't know, I don't want to do it." Right? And then I walk up to Blake, and I'm like, "Blake, there's a jet boat
he
available."
went to Daddy.
There's a jet boat
Mommy
available.
said no.
I had to rally the troops. So like I talked to Blake and I'm like, "Hey Blake, there's a jet boat in an hour." Yeah. And super
one of
fun.
these?
It was the red one, yeah.
Yeah, super fun.
So we rode a jet.
It's so pretty there.
It's incredibly beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
You
Play
guys
one.
should definitely
And
come.
then so we're on this jet boat, that exact one right there.
Oh, there you are. I'm just kidding.
So we're flying around on the jet boat. Because as soon as I told Blake was like, "What? Oh, we're gonna do it." And her
Yeah.
friend. So then it was 3 against 1. So Katie came along, and you know what? She's like, "Oh, I don't want worried about getting sick, right?" But what did you have, babe?
I had fun. Yes,
That's right.
I had fun.
That's right.
That's why we're a good yin and yang. You pushed me out of my comfort zone.
But the place is it's hard. And everyone's talking about you have to go to this place. It was at Milford Sound, right?
yes, yeah.
Milford Sound. You got to go to that. And I'm like thinking, what is it like a freaking?
Well, it was like a 4-hour
Milford's-
drive.
Milford Sound. I'm like, is
Each
it like
way.
a cave system that makes noise, or I had no idea what it was. It could not have
Been more
prepared
beautiful.
me for what it is.
So it's actually a
Look
fjord.
at this one.
Yeah, it's
So-
actually a fjord, and like
So, a
you
fjord is a portion of the land that's carved out by a glacier. right?
yeah, so it's glacier water, and so
And all of it, the cliffs are so sheer because of the way it
The water.
like drug it
carves
out.
in,
Yeah.
And so we
And
took a
there's
ferry.
waterfalls
Yeah,
everywhere.
we took a ferry ride, and the ferry ride was just like incredible because they take you all the way out the fjord into like the ocean, and then it turns around and comes back. And so we got to see dolphins.
Yeah,
We got to see penguins.
got some
and
pictures of those.
seals. And so they said it had been weeks since they got the trifecta and seen all 3 animals on a tour. So we got to see all 3.
And you see that waterfall right there? The one on the right there, yeah? They take you on this particular boat we were on, they back the rear end right up to it.
And
they call it the Fountain of Youth, right?
Yeah, they call it the Fountain of Youth. They say it'll take 10 years off your life, and
In a good way, not a bad way.
in a good way.
They're like
And
death now.
honestly, it was like without sounding sappy, it was life changing. Like it was so beautiful. I've seen some
This in
beautiful
particular, or,
things.
like,
The
just
whole
that
thing,
moment?
but that moment of like backing up into that
'Cause you're-
water was like we were like crying. Basically,
We're on the back of the boat. I was crying.
well,
I had
they're
tears
like
in my-
the glacier is hundreds of years old,
No,
right, or
like-
thousands of years old, and like you're in this most beautiful location. Like it was
So there's a picture. Oh,
It was incredible, honestly. And
Don't look, Kat.
there's a picture I want to show you
He's
guys
seen- it's
because
only me.
these pictures don't show you the scale that well. But I took this picture of a boat, right? A gigantic boat. This is a 4-story tall like boat we're on next to the cliff,
Oh shit.
right? That's a huge boat. That's not a little boat. So we'll post that too. But so it slowly backs you up to this thing, right? Like so it takes like 10 minutes for it to fully get up close to it. And they're talking about how like, oh, it's been here for millions of years. This is glacial water, and like it's the fountain of youth. And some people like have like these amazing experiences here. And as it's getting closer, you could hear the sound. And you get so close to where it's just spraying on you. And as it's spraying on me, like right beforehand, the light cusps right over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the light is coming over that edge, like we come right under the light into the water. And it was just like, it was amazing, you know, totally invigorating, totally.
yeah, you get wet.
But
And
I was
so-
literally crying because I just was like, I got to give into this moment of like pure, like I don't know if I'll
Bliss.
ever
Yeah.
be in a more beautiful.
Like places like that exist. There's so much.
This
like,
sounds corny, but like I can't put in the words how amazing it was.
Well, it's just like there's so much shit out there, right? There's so much shit, and like to
At
know
first I
that a
was like-
place like that exists, just like so beautiful and untouched or like destroyed by humans,
And-
like it was special.
And I'm always have said, oh, the most beautiful place I've ever been to is Yosemite. Yosemite is so beautiful, but this place is like Yosemite in the middle of the ocean type of thing, you know? So like it had this whole nether layer of
And
beauty
the water
because of
was-
the water.
The water was gorgeous. It was very.
So we're like crying and making out and like it's
Making
it was pretty incredible.
Blake. You were making out with Blake. Just kidding.
No, but me and Blake was there and he's emotional. We're hugging. And everyone's just like, it was just like this extremely amazing moment.
It
And,
was just really
I'll never
special.
forget.
And then we did get to see the kiwis. We really wanted to see the kiwi bird.
Like the bird.
And so I guess they're nocturnal though, and we didn't know that. So they have like a special zoo. And at the special zoo, they have like these dark rooms because they
Play the sound they make.
So we had to like go into this room and like let your eyes adjust to it. And yeah, play the sound.
Yeah, not a good sound.
That's enough.
But yeah, so we had to like we had to go into like this special room, and it's like all dark except for they have like simulated stars. So then you have to sit in there for like 5-10 minutes for your eyes to adjust, and then you can kind of make them out because they're endangered over there. And it sucks because like in New Zealand they don't have predators, like certain predators, but then of course people are assholes and
Humaning.
brought over things like stouts,
Dogs and rats
and cats and different things. So they've been like killing the kiwi birds. So they're trying to like eradicate those animals that have been brought over, right? That don't belong.
In their eggs, like their egg is almost the size of their body.
Oh my God.
So they lay these huge eggs and it takes a long time for them to grow.
They're so heavy. They're so heavy. They're huge
Oh my God, look
compared to
at
their
the-
body. Yeah,
You're the
look.
one in the skeleton.
Like how do they give birth to that thing?
So it takes a long
And
time for them
huge
to
assholes.
grow the egg. So they don't reproduce like fast.
So yeah, so they're endangered. So right now they're like, they grow up, like they have the babies at the different places and they grow them until they're like 3-4 years old, until they weigh enough that they can protect themselves against these animals. And then they put them out and they rehabilitate them. So they, they have very limited human
And another,
interactions.
I guess like
and-
birds just get big there and they have big pigeons. They got giant
Oh
pigeons.
my God, their pigeons
shit.
huge.
Yeah, like, I mean, not giant, but they're like twice the size of a normal pigeon.
And they like to get drunk off berries.
The
Yeah.
pigeons?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
guess like they die a lot from like crashing in the windows when they're drunk. I'm like, okay, well,
Like a
that's
chicken-sized pigeon?
Yeah, actually, it's like a chicken-sized pigeon.
Yeah, they were pretty big. They like didn't, because we like watched a thing and the pigeon
We
didn't
went to like
want to
this
fly.
zoo thing. Yeah, it was awesome.
They were like, there was like other birds that they were showing us that were like flying from perch to perch, but the pigeon was like, nah.
No, this
He flew like
pigeon was like, man, I ain't doing
he
no way."
flew like once or twice, and he was like, I'm good. That was enough.
Miss me with that shit.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, and then I think that was it. Yeah,
We could go on and on and on.
but
it
it
was-
was
it was
super
in-
fun.
All the pictures you sent, I was so
Yeah, they're
jealous.
gorgeous.
Everything looked so pretty. And I the most important thing, I was like, it looks so fresh and so
It
cold
was.
It was.
there.
Yeah,
So
it was.
It looks amazing.
I was never at a point where I was like too hot. And I was never too
Like
cold
Juan's dream.
either. I was never too cold. Like, oh my God, I'm freezing. Like it was crisp.
Oh,
So-
and there was these birds.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
the Kia birds.
Maybe I could airdrop it to you and we could get it on here.
Well, that's not being recorded anyway, right?
No, but then we could all see it together.
we can enjoy it together.
If not, it's okay. So like these birds just were like hanging out. They hang out there and get on the cars, and they like to eat the cars too.
Well, so you drive through that mountain right there, and
Mhm.
so we were waiting because it's a 1-lane mountain, so you have to wait
At a light,
at a light.
Oh, okay.
literally for 10 minutes.
But it was crazy.
Like it has a timer on it.
yeah,
and
it
says
has a
like
timer.
it counts down from 10 minutes.
So we're like sitting there and we're like 10 minutes. What the fuck are we gonna do for 10 minutes while we wait?
we were the
right?
first ones, so we were like,
And
this sucks.
So then we like stop, right? And then all of a sudden you hear a thud.
And it's
you're-
this fucking Kias.
Yeah, and we're like, what the fuck is that? And then all of a
They're
sudden you
Kias?
see
Like the
They call them Kias, yeah. And then like you hear the like tick, 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 and we're like, what is that? And then you see the one go like this, like
He peeks over at us at the very beginning. Look, he peeks over at me.
And we're like,
I'm like,
what the fuck?
at first I'm like scared because I'm like, oh my God, you know, like what? Is he gonna bite me? But they're totally. I mean, I'm sure they do bite people, but these ones were totally friendly.
Well, no, but they did bite the car. We have a video of them biting the car and taking a chunk out of.
Or you know the seal, like
Oh.
on the. It just like bit it and immediately took a big chunk out of it.
And we're like, oops.
What for the car rental? Do they?
They
I
did
don't-
not
Cover
look.
that.
Kiwi insurance.
Yeah, Kia
Kia
insurance.
insurance.
Kiwis.
But
are
it
the-
was like, we're leaving Milford Sound at this time, right? So we're like on this high, and we're like, oh, we're gonna sit here for 10 minutes, and we're all
then
gabbing about
instead
how
we-
amazing this was, and then all of a sudden
We just
we
spent
get this
10 minutes,
experience,
yeah.
you know.
10
So
minutes playing with the Kia birds.
everyone who's like, wow, that's amazing, it was.
It was.
So are they a type
Highly
of parrot?
recommended.
They look
I-
like a type of parrot.
Everyone
Yes,
should
yeah.
go to New Zealand. New Zealand is definitely like peak travel destination.
It's beautiful.
wanna go.
It's incredible. Highly recommend.
So pretty.
Yeah. So anyway, and then we flew home after that. And so, or actually we flew back to Auckland and then we spent one last day with Erina. I helped her groom in her salon. That
nice.
was fun. And Nathan got a kiwi bird tattoo.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show him. Well,
Yeah.
just like show him.
It's a little crusty right now.
Oh, that's cute.
It is hella cute.
Rusty.
When did you get that?
I got it.
There?
Me, Blake, and Laura all got kiwi tattoos.
Yeah. I didn't get one. I was helping Erina groom.
Oh, okay.
I was being the good person, and I went back and helped her groom her dogs. Cause she
I can't
had
see
to
it.
move
Yeah. I
them.
was like, what's that noise?
You're all just watching it.
I'm watching it by myself.
Everyone's like all like cheering and stuff. It was so amazing.
It was incredible.
This is when it was backing it up. You can see it's getting closer and closer.
Back it up.
Was the water like really freezing?
No, it was
So,
like so refreshing.
It was cold, very cold, but it didn't at the you know when you're like something's
moment.
happening and you just don't care. It just felt good.
We'll have to put these in the
Yeah,
episode.
We have
you
a
Here,
ton.
can-
Milford.
we have a ton.
Here-
Is that guy
Milford.
is his name
Well,
Gil?
that
It was
person.
a, it was a
that was
lady,
a
very
woman
friendly.
actually, and she said she's from Canada. She said she came to New Zealand like over a decade ago, and she never left. She
No.
didn't intend on staying. She just like came to visit and was like, "Pfft, I ain't leaving.
So we had several conversations like as a mom and dad where we were like, do we want to? So we weren't like,
Obviously,
being
we wouldn't-
serious.
yeah, we
but like
couldn't.
it was right there on the cusp of like, could we make a life here?
Yeah.
Obviously we could,
Yeah.
but we have so much going here we can't. But like, it's
If we ever need to escape, I'm escaping to New Zealand. Just
Yeah.
FYI. So let's all just like, if we ever need to escape,
I bet
For
you the
any
New
reason.
Zealand people are like, don't come.
Yeah. They're like, hell no.
I'm
Erina,
gonna come.
I'm gonna come. Yeah.
Erina, if we ever need to escape, we're coming to New Zealand.
Yeah. But the homes are really expensive there too.
I was
They're
gonna say,
like
yeah,
mil-
what's
they're-
the real
Everything's
estate's
no,
like?
everything's expensive because everything has to be flown in. So like
So what's like the exchange rate between like a
it's
California?
shitty. Well, so like
For
for
them.
us,
For
for us
American.
it's good. Our dollar goes further there, but for them,
This
their
way.
dollar is weak.
I think it's
So-
about like maybe 60% of ours.
So like
So,
60
like-
cents for every dollar for us.
So like the bills would be cheaper or be more expensive. Like we would go out to eat, it's like $300. But
For us, it was
for
like
us, it's cheaper.
two.
Yeah.
So our dollar went further out there, so it was kind of nice. Because I'd be like freaking out, like, oh my god, this thing is $60, and then they'd be like, well, it's like $40 for you. And I go,
Is
oh,
it-
that's better.
Are they called dollars there too?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Australian money. I mean, Australia.
New Zealand
we have
money. We
New
took some-
Zealand money. We brought it home because it was just really pretty. It
Yeah.
looks like
It's
Australian
like
money.
it's plastic and like see-through.
Yeah, so we can show that later.
I wonder if they
Um,
call it the dollar because a lot of other countries use like the dollar as the foundation for their money.
Maybe.
I don't know though.
But anyway, yeah. So and then we flew home, and then literally, so we left Friday evening, and we got home Friday afternoon. So
They
'cause-
traveled back in
yeah,
time.
we traveled back in time. That's what we keep telling the kids. And so then the very next day we had our specialty, our local specialty. So no rest. And
No rest for the wicked.
So we had our Scotty specialty, and it was really nice because.
Oh wait, but your dog showed too, right?
Yeah, your dog showed too.
So we were there Kat was there Thursday, Friday, and then you came on
Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, we're
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday.
So Thursday and Friday we're good. On Thursday,
Nathan,
face it that way.
Oh my God.
I like that you immediately put it back up to your mouth.
That sounded wet.
He's like, ah.
All right.
What's the temperature? Temperature.
That was cool. That was cool.
was cool.
I was like, it has
regular
a
body
smell to it.
temperature.
I don't smell it over here.
Well, he literally leaned it towards me. Why can't you lean it that way?
That's not as fun.
Remember when he said he's not going to fart on this because it's embarrassing?
He forgot. He's not
It's like
embarrassed.
Kat's turn to talk.
All right, Kat.
Gonna fart.
Thursday and Friday. How did it go?
So Thursday, so we had like supported entries for the Bashans because it was also not
what does
only a
that mean?
Scottish Terrier. It wasn't only a Scottish Terrier specialty, but it was also the Bashan Club of Northern California supported the entries, meaning that they just kind of the ribbons are a little prettier, basically. So they had one Thursday and Friday, and then our specialty was Saturday, Sunday. So on Thursday, I was showing Juan and Ronnie's little girl, Willow. It was her first big girl show. She's like fresh 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was showing Lumiere, my special. And she, Miss Willow, got a reserve winner's bitch, which is basically like out of all of them, there was like nine bitches entered. And so basically she was the second best,
Woohoo.
So
according to
cool.
that judge.
She got a
So exciting. Nope.
And then Lumiere got
Hold yourself.
select and owner handler, no love and owner handler groups that day. On Friday was the best day of the weekend. Miss Willow got winner's bitch for her first points ever, and it was a 4-point major. So she got one of her majors out of the way.
When the text came in, Ronnie and I were on the couch and we were like, we looked at the thing and then looked at each other like, oh my! We were so excited.
Yeah.
Your
we were so
baby.
excited because we were working that day, so we couldn't be there.
And then Lumiere got select again and best of breed owner handler, and then he got a owner handler group 1, followed by a reserve owner handler best in show. And then Friday and Saturday we got nothing.
Saturday and Sunday.
Saturday, Sunday, yeah. But it goes that way because every day is its own show, right? So different judge, different,
Yeah.
And Lumiere was kind of being driven crazy because everyone was in heat. Like he was like, if I should have went home every night because just for his sanity, because we stayed with Danica and she had 2 bitches like in standing season, which means they were ready to be bred. He literally just paced all night and paced and wouldn't eat and paced. And I was like, I should have went home to let him have some respite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, he lived in the learn because by the end of the weekend he had not eaten for like a long time, and then he was also being bred like for the whole full 4 days. He didn't like eat a meal. He was eating like food, like treats every once in a while, but
like this is not what I want to eat.
yeah. And
life could be worse.
Yeah.
not only that, he was bred though like 3 days before that. So he was while that bitch was at my house, he didn't eat for those 3 days either. So he was
So
a little,
even after he's done breeding, he still don't eat.
not really.
Man's tripping.
That is
Isn't that a
weird.
good meal after you know?
That is weird.
He was eating a little bit, but not like his normal
Yeah.
everyday diet
You've always
of 2
had
meals a day.
a hard time with
Yeah,
him.
he
and
doesn't.
eating.
He's not a fond of food. But anyways,
Just vagina.
so he was like on and off food for like a good week and a half, and he was like by the end of the weekend he was like skinnier and not his normal top shape, you know.
Yeah.
And he was also he couldn't walk in a straight line the last 2 days, but not because he was like starving or anything, because there was bitches also in season in the ring, so he wanted to like get to him, so he was pulling a lot, so his
Yeah.
his gait's off when he's
That's the
doing
only
that.
time I seen him showing, and I was like, dude, look like a fool.
Yeah, he's like,
He's like pulling her along in the ring, and I remember was watching him. I'm like, he's fucking this up in the down and back. He's just like like
yeah, he's like not walking straight. He's literally like.
He can't concentrate.
So I don't know what to do with that boy. And you know, I wouldn't say people are like, just train it out of him, train him out. I was like, it's instinct. You know, I can't go against his nature. I do my best to distract him, and you know, I have like the stuff I put on his nose. But I think he's just gotten fond of that. He's like, oh, you're trying to hide something from me. I know there's someone in here that I want. So you know,
dirty birdie.
he's just his mind's between his back legs, but. You know, we have good days and we have bad days. So,
Yeah.
Had some of both that weekend.
yep, I had a good beginning and not so great at the end.
Happens.
Yep, it happens. And I'm not upset. We had a good week.
Yeah, and then we had the Scotty specialty, and like Katie got to like be in. It was cool because Katie got to like be in pictures of the winners.
Yeah,
and
I
stuff.
saw
I
that.
saw that. I
Why?
know.
How?
You look so official.
Why? Because I'm the show chairman.
Duh.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
right.
she
I
got to
forgot
get
it
a
was
picture.
your specialty with your club.
It's my specialty
That's
with my
right.
club. So I got to be in the official win pictures because I'm the show chairman. And so that was fun to like get to do that because I guess I was supposed to do that in previous years, but I would always be running around doing things and I didn't know. And so this year, Danica was like, dude, you're supposed to be in the pictures. And I was like, me?
So I tell you what, though, I want pictures of my dogs in those in that cup.
Oh,
I know. Someday. But yeah, it was nice. We had our specialty. My puppy was entered, but he was the only boy all weekend.
So he's got winner's dog.
He got winner's dog 4 days in a row.
Nice.
But he is only 6 months, so we had
Dude,
a
think
lot
about
of.
how impressed the audience would have been if you just left that
I
part
know,
out.
whatever.
Winner's dog every day.
But you got to like it was his first time in the show ring.
weekend in the show ring.
And
yeah.
I showed him the first day because I was helping Danica out, and he was a little like scared, but by the second day, he's like, "I got this."
Yeah, and so the other the bitches he was going up against for best of winners were all very mature, more grown dogs. So I mean, we didn't get the crossover points, but like I said, it was his first weekend out. I was just happy that he was walking and like his behavior was actually really good. So I was really happy, and then I had sold one of his sisters to another groomer, Catherine. So she flew out and we entered her puppy into the competition as well. So she could kind of see what showing is like and we could go over grooming and different things like that. So it was really nice to have her out for the 2 days. I hope she learned a lot and had a good time. It's kind of crazy shows. So hopefully, I hope that she enjoyed herself. And we were also not at our best, right? Because we were like so jet lagged from New Zealand. So hopefully, I really hope she had a good time. But anyway, so that was
think so.
that. And then, what about you? Anything interesting?
My puppy got a 4-point major.
Anything else? For
And
the
then
month
on
of
the last day,
October?
they finally got to come see her, and then she shit in the ring.
She shit
my
in the
God.
ring, pissed in the ring, and then shit outside of the ring.
Well, she had an upset tummy because you know it was a lot for a young puppy, but also she had been getting a lot of like high calorie, high reward food in the ring because I'm trying to make it positive for her, and so she's a good eater and she was eating, and so I think her tummy was just upset by all the stuff. But I was like, of course, the one day you are able to come, she's pooping and peeing in the ring. Mind you, she had spent like a good hour in the X-Pen before that.
She should have bodied.
But she has to get used to that too.
Yeah.
It's the moving around. I think once they start
Yeah.
moving, they like.
Because my puppy peed in the ring too. And I was
It's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. I saw her and Kat, and I was like, oh my god.
You're like, I don't know them.
kidding.
don't
I had
know
a
them.
Scotty have diarrhea at a grooming competition. Just fill up the table with diarrhea one time, right in the middle of the competition.
That's okay. It happens.
It's okay now. At the moment, I was like, oh my god.
I know it was embarrassing because I was the only one in the ring, and then she was having diarrhea, and I'm all like,
Everyone had to wait and like watch
Watch
her.
Everyone's
her.
just watching her clean up
Everyone's
the
just
shit.
watching me. I'm like, oh my god, so embarrassing. But
And then watching clean up, and yeah,
it happens. Poop
poor
happens.
babies.
Anything else?
Not really. I mean, October was pretty quiet for me.
Mhm.
I got my best in show trolley.
Yeah.
We brought it on the
like
last
it, yeah.
day. It was fun.
I didn't realize it was a best in show for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. I love those
Yeah.
things.
I think every show I go to, because this is all still so new to me.
Right.
But every show I go to, I understand it a little bit more, and it like makes me like before when I first got Will, I was like, nope, Kat's she's gonna be co-owner and she's gonna be doing all the showing and everything. And now every time I go, I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do.
You
I
can
can
so
do
do
it. You know. So
it.
I think
Get in there.
I think I want to. Before it was like
Did you
a
go to
straight up.
class?
No, I did not.
Well,
He
first you
did
got to
not.
start there.
Or are you close to Bill's class?
Yeah, like 30 minutes.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's like
you
a
should definitely
huge
go.
Yeah.
asset.
Yeah.
I know you told him
think-
you were
I
going
even
to.
told
You lied
him.
to Bill McFadden.
Yeah, Kat was talking to Bill McFadden. I was like, hey, yeah, I'm going to go to your class in a couple days. I said I'm going to try to go to your class in a couple days. And then Ronnie, it was like I realized I had to leave in like 5 minutes, and I was like, I have to leave like now. And he's like, you told Bill you have to go. And I was like, no, I have to poop before I go, and I'm not going to make it.
You can walk in late too.
Yeah.
it's just
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
fine.
but that's a bad look.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Or they're just
People
not
show
show
up
up
late
at
all
all.
the time.
But another thing I forgot. I also groomed not only my dogs for the specialty, but I groomed 3 others, and one got an award of merit. One finished his championship. He got winner's dog and best of winners every day that he showed and finished his championship. So very happy for him and his owner Roz. And so that's kind of cool, seeing your work out there in the ring. That's
Yeah.
not only yours, Because also I enjoy watching the dogs I groom in the ring because I can look at their haircuts in motion and I can tweak things, right? So I'd go up to their owners and tweak some things. That's always cool.
Yeah. It's
I
nice.
think that's what makes me excited about getting more into it is like seeing you helping. Like the first time we went when she was still doing BPUP, and they're like, "Oh, Kat, how does this look?" And you like grabbed your scissors and you like went over there and like, and I was like, that seems so cool for Kat to like be able to like put this haircut on so many different dogs. And, like you were saying, watch them and then it's like I would learn so much if I did. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it. You'll love it. I think once you start doing it, you're gonna fall in love,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of fun.
And it's getting colder
It's
out,
addicting.
so
It is
So,
addicting.
yeah, so you don't have to worry about
I won't
sweating too
sweat
much
as
in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I think really the only other thing, right? The elephant in the room.
Okay.
But I mean, yeah, so I'm sure that there are plenty of our listeners that haven't heard anything about it, but then I'm sure that there are plenty of our listeners that have heard about it. We have always kind of touted ourselves, right, for being like open and honest about everything. And so recently Nathan and myself, right, have been in the middle of a scandal, shall we say? Like how do we phrase that?
Yeah, I got contacted by Groom Team.
The Groom Team board, yeah, because there was a grievance filed against us.
Yeah.
Where they recorded us, quote unquote, coaching, or recorded me, quote unquote, coaching, which we did not do. We'll insert the video just because I think
And
I think in the effort of being like open and honest, right? We want everybody to transparent. We want everybody to see the video, just because like we maintain that like we absolutely were not coaching. We've never discussed coaching or hand signals or giving anything away to each other. That's not something we would do. You don't need me to do that for you. You are an incredible groomer.
So I had a meeting with Groom Team, and they said
The board,
the
Groom Team
board,
board.
and they were kind of surprised when I had already seen the video, but I had this video sent to me a couple times from several people. And when I seen it, I was kind of taken back because, like, I don't know how anybody can see. So I guess it's people are trying to say that it's Katie coaching me on how to groom from this like 7-second video. So I'm gonna put it up. We'll put it up right here.
But for anybody who's listening, I'm rubbing my stomach, which I feel like anybody who's listened to the show has heard me talk about my tummy issues and my anxiety, and different things like that. And it is something that like I do on a regular basis. And so I'm rubbing my stomach. And if you really slow down the video and watch it, Nathan is working on the underline of his poodle. And he glances up for like 2 seconds. I personally don't even think he notices like that I'm doing it. He just kind of looks at me.
Well, there's also a very large dog.
Yeah,
in front of him.
he's on the other side of the poodle and glances up at me. So it's a 75-pound, 7-inch tall poodle.
He's 75 pounds.
Yeah, he's 75 pounds. And then he goes back to his underline. And so they're trying to say that I was coaching him to trim his underline, but he's already working on his underline.
Yeah, and so like it sucks because this like stupid video now and the people that it's gonna forever tarnish. Like there's gonna be people now that forever think I'm a cheater.
No matter what we say.
No matter
or do.
what I say, even though I'm not. And then so I'm gonna show everyone the video, and I'll even slow it down from beginning to end so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. Because like like that's the only way I could. Like if you think it is what it is, here's the quote unquote proof. You make your own decision,
And then
but when I spoke to Groom Team, they asked me about it, and I said, well,
That's
we're not
true.
cheating. We're
Yeah.
not. We've never discussed hand signals or anything like that before. And that's where it kind of ended, like this video is not proof of anything,
It's alleged, yeah. And so,
but it just sucks because like I've always tried to bring like super amounts of positivity.
Yeah.
And this like,
And we've always been kind to people, and we always try to like put our best foot forward. So it does suck, but we're just going to continue to put our best foot forward. And then something that we offered the Groom Team board was so that nobody can accuse me of doing something I'm not doing again. Is I'm gonna stay away from the ring while Nathan's competing, which in some ways is good because I do get well, number one, I get so stuck watching him because I get so anxious that I never go shopping. I never get to like walk around on all the tables and shop. And it does make me really anxious. I like watch the whole time and I fidget, and I like anybody who watches, I pace, and so it does make me a little bit sad that somebody is like, saw my like anxiety and used it in a negative way. But it is what it is. What's done is done.
And honestly, some of the stuff people said online was like so crazy, and like people called like
hurtful.
People said a lot of mean things, and like people are calling my sponsors, and all my sponsors are sticking with me because like you see the video, and I've had judges contact me, and I've had, ever since I first won the Best in Show, I've had 2 judges pulled me aside that first day I won and said, it's going to be lonely. And I kind of didn't think about, like, I'm just like, oh, and I'm just going to keep being positive and keep being positive, and everything will be fine. I'll be everyone's friend. But, like.
We're still going to keep being positive.
Yeah,
though.
but, like, I don't know. I'm going to keep putting positivity out. But I just want people that are fans of me and Katie to see this and look at this video, because this is what people are ostracizing us over, Yeah. So I don't know. I don't really want to talk about it anymore because honestly, it's like.
Okay, but what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, because you said you're gonna remain positive, right? But at like, I think like, does everyone deserve your positivity?
No, but I feel like.
But I also don't want to dwell in the
hypothetical.
negativity either.
So say if hypothetically I know who was behind this and who filmed me. Me doing anything negative to these people, or even putting their names out, or doing anything negative that towards them would not add anything to my life or anybody else's in a positive way. So I was like, what's the point? I'm still gonna be nice to them. Mm-hmm. Not saying I do know or I don't, but like I'm still gonna be nice, and I'm still gonna be, I'm just gonna be more aware of people around us.
Yeah.
And like I have nothing to hide. That's what I keep thinking. Like, here, come watch this video, because I have nothing to hide.
Right? Yeah.
It is upsetting though that someone's seen this and like they're like,
or just thought to record us in general.
Yeah, but I don't compete and do the social media and do the education for the competitors that are these top competitors. I'm not doing it for them.
Right.
I do it for myself, and I do it for the competitors coming up and the groomers coming up, and I want to be a good example for them, you know? So beyond that, like, I don't really care, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that to myself, like, in my heart, like, this has hurt me more than, like, a lot of things have, and I don't like to admit it, but because it's like my integrity has been damaged.
Well, we put a
And
lot of
I'm
work
hoping people
in.
will see this video and see it for what it is. you
I
know?
think the reason it hurt so much is because we put so much time and love and energy and work into like everything, right? The social media, competing, the podcast, like we have our, showing dogs, like we care so much about helping and like being a positive like role model that like it's very hurtful that somebody took that and like
Weaponized it.
yeah. And so it does, I think that's why it's so hurtful because like I feel like we've tried to do so much good for the industry that it sucks.
And like we've actually went back and forth a lot about whether or not we should talk about this on, because most people don't even know about it.
right.
But
Yeah, because somebody posted it.
but we want to
online.
be
Transparent.
transparent, right?
I think it's important, yeah, that people know. And, like.
And like what you're just saying about this positivity, yeah, like my grooming career has been overwhelmingly positive and positive people. It's only when I've got to and I don't want to talk like I'm the best groomer ever, but when I got to near the top is when things start to, all of a sudden you start seeing
when we
different
started
faces.
succeeding.
You start seeing different faces from the same people. And, like I don't want people that are, so many people have come to us and be like, I want to compete because of you. I want to master certified because of you. I don't want to.
But I want to be the change.
Yeah.
I don't want to be negative and mean and like, I
But I
want to
feel
be
like
the change.
yeah, and I don't want people to think like, oh, I don't want to compete now because
Well, most
I've
competitors
seen that
are,
comment
most
a lot too,
competitors
like
are
people
fantastic.
saying, oh, this is why I don't want to compete. Like it's not like that. Like
Most of the
99% of the
yeah.
time, everyone's
Yeah.
super friendly, and so I don't want people to have this idea that competitive groomers are not good people, because they are.
Yeah, most of them are fantastic. So with any industry, there's always going to be somebody. So on a more positive note, I do want to read before we sign out.
This is a
If
2-hour
we're done,
episode
if
now.
we're done with this, if we're done with this portion,
Yeah, I don't want to talk.
to end on a
if-
more positive note.
But if anybody has a question to me about pertaining to that, they could message us, me or Katie, and I'd happily to answer any questions.
Yes,
Because
we're all about open, honest communication. Anyway, so we did get a message. We got it a while ago, but it was from Rebecca Ann, and she messaged us on Instagram, and she said, "Hey, you guys talk about poop like every episode, and I think you guys should check out this app called Poopy. It's literally social media for pooping, and you track your poop, and all your friends can see, and it's really hilarious. LOL." So thanks.
is it on the Apple Store though?
I'm thinking about just checking it out for funsies, but I don't know if I want to see other people's poops on a regular.
Yeah, do people like post pictures?
I think so.
Oh. Yeah, you don't want to see that what comes out.
I used to go to ratemypoop.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and you'd blowout 10.
Do you think people get like a kick out of it?
Ew.
Ew.
Men are disgusting.
Yeah.
They are.
All right. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We had a great time in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Take it away.
You started it.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh.
Did you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was me.
Okay.
He did the Halloween one.
Thanks for joining us on another grooming podcast. See you next week.
Bye.